Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and I started not to do a video today, and then I talked myself into it because I needed to talk to you guys. I've had a different kind of day. It was one of the first, and there's always a first. I know there's going to be first for a long time, but just when I thought I was dealing with it and doing pretty good, things happen and I fall apart again. But today I had an appointment, and I'll go ahead and tell you what we're going to do, and I'll work on it as I talk to you. I'm going to work on these little, I don't know what you would call them. I'm going to call them little ledger books, but I'm going to work on these, and I can't remember who I purchased these covers from. I'll have to go back and try to look. I'll go back and try to look, and if I can find it, I'll link them below. But I just purchased some of the covers off of Etsy. And then I'm putting together some little journals, like little ledger journals. But anyway, I had a hairdresser appointment today because my hair had gotten to be a big hot mess. So I decided I better go. And I had been dreading it and putting it off and putting it off. Not that my hairdresser would do anything, because she knew all about it. We had already talked, but I didn't realize that there was going to be so many people there today. Normally when I go on Thursdays, there's not quite as many people there. It was a lot of people there, so that was one thing that kind of got me, is just the crowd of people and the laughing and the cutting up that they always do, which is nothing in the world wrong with it, but my brain just wasn't functioning well with it. And then some of the other hairdressers did not know what had happened, and so the first thing they did was ask me where Whit was. Well, at first it didn't hit me quite so hard, but then when I started to tell, it just hit me, and I fell apart. Because believe it or not, and I know most of your husbands probably steer clear of that place at all cost. My husband went with me most all the time. If he found out I was going, he'd go, "Let me go with you." And he would go up there and just sit and chat with my hairdresser. He enjoyed her company, and he'd just sit and chat with her while she was working on me, and chat with the other ladies if they was there. So, it was just like when we had our classes, and a lot of you came to my classes, and he just had a big time talking to people. I mean, that was just his thing. So he enjoyed going and talking to people. He enjoyed being in the crowds. So anyway, I had a come apart, had another fall apart. And then I got back home, and I kind of recouped myself, and I'm still not feeling wonderful, but I thought, okay, I'm not even going to do a video today. I don't even want to do it. I don't feel like doing it. I'm too depressed. But then I thought, no, I'm going to do it because I need them a whole lot more than they need me. So I need to talk to you guys. I know that you're not right there. I know you're not right there where you can talk right back to me, but you do talk to me in the comments, and that helps me a lot. It helps me a ton, and I know a lot of you know what I'm going through. A lot of you have been there, or may be there right now. And I know it's something that we don't get over, and I know I'm going to have these fall aparts. It's just, I guess I wasn't expecting it today. I did expect to be a little bit down because I was having to drive myself up there, because he always drove me to the hairdresser. Always. That was just his thing. He found out I was going, he drove me. He just enjoyed it. And if he didn't go in, he would go and piddle in town and, do whatever while I was finishing up. And then I would text him and tell him I was finished, and he'd come back and pick me up. So I knew that was going to be hard, not being able to do that. But I wasn't expecting the other part, I guess. It just kind of got to me. And then I thought, no, I'm going to do a video, because if I don't, I'm going to sit here and just think about it all afternoon. And then that's going to make me even more depressed. So I might as well get on here and talk to you guys. I may not do a lot. I may not, you know, may not be too interesting to you, but if you'll just watch and then leave me comments below, that will help me a ton. A ton. Now, either I didn't trim that too good or I didn't fold it too good. I don't know which. I'm thinking I probably didn't trim it exactly right. So I'm going to get my big trimmer and try to straighten this up a little bit. Don't know if, let's see. Don't know which way I need to go with it. Let's see. Right there, maybe. And I started just to go to town and rumble around in town for a while, but I hate to go to town anyway. So that was not going to be one of my things. I'm just not a shopper. I don't like to shop. I will go and shop if I have to, but if I can get it delivered and not have to come in contact with anybody, that's what I've been doing. So anyway, I didn't do that. I just stopped at Dollar General and picked up what I had to have, and then I came home. So anyways, and then I come home to be with my friends, and that's you guys. Okay, now in this one, I haven't even finished this one, but I put some things in there. I put some different papers. I've got some pockets that I'm going to put in there. And then there's a little pocket piece that I'm going to put in. Another pocket. And then there's an old invoice. And I can't remember where I got this one. Now, I have some invoices that Betty sent me, and I will try to link her. Well, she's always linked below, but I'll try to link the invoice collection that she sent. But for some reason, my ink has not arrived yet today. It was supposed to arrive yesterday, and it didn't come. And it hasn't arrived today, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. Normally, I get it. I have the HP Instant Ink. Normally, I get it way before I run out. Way before. But for some reason this month, I have not. And I don't exactly know why. But, I mean, I'm sure it's probably going to be in the mail today. I just haven't got my mail yet. I'm just going to fold this up and let this be pockets. This is an original invoice, but I have scanned it, so I have another copy of it. So I'm going to put this one in here, and that's real crinkly and crackly, and it has that little jagged piece that I'm just going to leave on there. But I think that will be good there. Let's see. Got some of this coffee dyed paper that I can put in, and your pages don't have to be the same width. Don't worry if they're not the same width. Now this is a little bit long, so I'm going to tear it off. Sometimes I like them when they're all different widths. Or all different lengths and widths, I should say. So anyway, hopefully you guys can bear with me in my, well, look at that, what I did. That's going to be real good, isn't it? But that's okay. I mean, this is handmade. So we're going to deal with things like that. But like I said, maybe you can deal with me. Maybe you can deal with my depression. I hope so. I try not to be. I'm trying my best not to get in a slump and not to get in that depression state, because as most of you know, I have had a history of a lot of depression. And so I'm trying my best to fight it every day, but it's not so easy. Not so easy nowadays. And some days, and I'm just going to be truthful and honest with you like I've always been, some days it's just not that easy to pray anymore. I know that God's listening, but some days I just find it real hard to get my prayers. I feel like they're not going anywhere. I don't even feel like they're going up to the ceiling. I don't feel like they're even hardly going out of my mouth. It's just tough. Now this is some paper that I got off of Amazon, and if I can find it, I'll link it. And this is handmade paper. And I am just going to, I don't want to cut any of this off because I love that edge. So I'm going to fold this in. And hopefully, yes, that's going to work right there. And then I may just go ahead and fold this bottom up because I don't want to lose any of that. So fold it in and fold it up. And then we'll have a tuck on the side and a pocket down here. And that can be another page. Right there. And then we're going to put an Edith Holden page in. I like these in there. They, to me, they're real pretty when you put them in. Now I want to decide if I want to just fold the one or if I want to fold both of them. I think I'm just going to, I think I'll put it in, and then what I will do is have a fold out on each side. I'm not going to glue this. I'm just going to have it as a fold out on each side. So it's not going to be a pocket. See if I folded it. Yeah. Pretty close. They don't have to be exact because they're not going to be side by side, so don't have to worry about that. Yeah. So I'll put that in there. So there's another page. And then I am going to put an envelope in. That's an old UPS envelope. And then I have some of these really, really old music pages. And these, I think, are, I don't know, what is that? German? I have no idea what they're written in. I know it's something that I can't read. Put these in. Ooh, and that's cracking. I don't know if I'll be able to use that much or not. I probably need to put a reinforcer down through there before I stitch that in because that's cracking. So let's go ahead and do that before I forget, because if I don't do it now, I will go ahead and stitch it in and then I'll forget all about having the reinforcer on there. And then it'll just fall out. And I don't want that to happen. I'm going to trim this bottom off a little bit. Now, you can do reinforcers different ways. I'm going to do this one probably with some washi, just some thin washi. Oh, let's see if I have any that's gonna go. That'll probably work. You can also do this with material. You can do it with another piece of page. Whatever you have. I'm just going to go down the center with this. Oops, I said down the center. And then what I'll do is I'll fold around and I'll come back up the other side. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and nip that little bit off right there. Now then, that should fold right in the middle of that washi. And then that will just make that strong, where when we stitch through it, we won't have any problems. So there's another page. And then we'll have to work on that. All right, let's see. I also pulled out this, and this is a big page. It's a family tree of the Forsyths. I can't say that word. John Forsyth. And it starts in 1799. Yeah, and goes all the way through. And I thought I might include this in there. Somebody might be interested in that. And it might even be your family tree. So let's see how we need to do this. Okay, this side is going to have to be folded as well. And I'm just going to leave it where it will fold out. There we go. Now when we stitch that in, you'll still be able to unfold this one and then fold this out, and you'll still be able to see everything. That'll just be a good little fold out to that one. Then, let's see. I thought I would put a piece of this in there. This actually got wet, so I like the looks of it since it got wet. It's crinkly, kind of. So anyway, what has your day have been like today? That was my day in a nutshell. Just a little bit rough. But I always feel better when I talk to you guys. Now, tomorrow night, Betty and I will be on the live if you want to join us. I like it when you talk to me. I have a hard time with Miss Betty. Miss Betty. I want to read all the comments, see, and she wants to craft, so I have a hard time settling her down. She's wild when she gets on there. But I want to read all of your comments and talk to you, and she wants to craft, so I think what I might do is I might read comments and comment to them, and then let Betty do her crafting. I have a journal that I need to work on. Miss Catherine, I apologize. I still have your journal. I promise I'm working on it. I'm going to get it finished for you and get it to you. But I need to get that journal finished and get it to Catherine. So I'll probably work on it a little bit. And then I will mainly just read your comments and chat. So if you want to chat with me, come over to the live. Now this is a little book that Betty sent me. And it's a very, very old one. Let's see how old this is. Biography and Methods of English Literature History. So we know we don't want to do any of that. Let's see. This is... when was she? 1920. Copyright 1919, 1920, and 1925. So it's a very, very old book. But I loved these pages and the colors and the feel of them. They're so pretty. And I think I'll be able to get them in. I might have to reinforce that. Let's go ahead and do that. Just to be sure. I'd rather be safe. Because I don't want it tearing out once I stitch it in. And most of this washi you're not going to see anyway. So you really don't have to worry about the color of it. Any of that. Most of it's going to be right in the spine part and you're not going to see it. Now let's see if we can fold it up. Okay, I brightened up my camera a little bit because I've had these light colors laying there and I just realized when I looked up that things looked a little bit dark. Now I am going to fold this over and make this a little tuck. And then, yeah, I'll fold this one over and make that a little tuck. We can add pockets and all of that later when we get everything put together. And see, I don't worry about them being exactly the same because they're not going to go in the journal exactly in the same place. All right, let's go ahead and figure out which one we want to be first. I'm thinking I want this one to go in first just because I've got this on here. So I'll bring in some of that brown. Then maybe, let's see, maybe a piece of this. And then since this one is white on the back, I'll probably either stencil or do something on there. I don't know what yet, but we'll do something. Let's see, let's do a dark one. Let's do that book page. Then we may do this guy. Okay, I've not figured out which way that went. And then I'll probably put my envelope here. And then we'll go with this green. There. Then we'll go with an Edith Holden book page. And I'm hoping I don't have to trim any of these off once I get going here. And I may even end up adding something else. Who knows? Let's see. Let's go with this one. And then this one. Yeah, I may end up putting something else right here in the middle. I don't know what right now. Don't think I have it out here on my desk. I have an idea, but I may have to look it up. But right now, we're going to kind of go with that. Now, I don't mind that some of these stick out a little bit. That might not be your thing. And if it's not, then you can always just go through any of them that are sticking out a tiny bit. You can fold them over like that. Let them have a fold over, or let them have a pocket, or let them have a side tuck, whatever you want. It doesn't bother me for them to stick out a little, but I know some people don't particularly like that. So I'm going to fold that one, and let's see if we got any more. I think that's going to be it. The rest of them look pretty good. That one right there looks a little off, but I think it's just because of the way I have it folded. But we can always fold this up because that is that family tree thing, so we can fold that up like that. Yeah, I like that. Now, I may put a few more pages in it because it's not quite full enough for me. So let me grab some more pages. Okay, this is an old Ancestry magazine. This one is from 2004. And I kind of liked this page. And then there was another page that I was really liking, if I can find it again. I like that page too. Oh, look at that. Let's do this page right here. And that's probably going to be way wide. But I think I'm going to trim off the edges instead of folding it, because there's really nothing on the edges that I want to see. Okay, so that will be another page right there. I don't think it's too long. Nope. And then I'm going to put one more of Veronica's pages in here. And this is from Triple V Vintage. Veronica. She makes the absolute best little pages like this. This is coffee dyed, and they smell wonderful. Plus, she dyes these with, I don't know what, to make these images on there. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. So I think I'll have this for the middle. And I'm going to fold it. See, one side, both sides have the image, but one is a lot brighter than the other. So I think I'm going to fold it with the bright side in the middle, like that. And I am going to have to tear this one off a little bit at the bottom. And I save all of these little pieces, and then I use those to stamp on when I'm stamping words and things. They make beautiful little stamped words. So I definitely save those. There we go. Alright, so that one basically is finished other than this. Now, let's see if we lay this in there, if it's going to stick out. It is going to stick out a little bit, I think. Yeah. So what I'm going to do with this, and I'm using this old UPS envelope, I am going to fold this on down, probably. Let's see if that'll work. And then put it in like that. I may have to cut off a few little pieces, but we can do that. And thank you guys for all of you who went over and subscribe to my niece's channel. Be patient with her. She's just getting started right now. She doesn't really know. She's like me when I started out. She doesn't really know exactly what she's doing, but she has wonderful ideas, and she does beautiful projects in refinishing wood and making things and taking old furniture and making it into new furniture, new looking furniture. So she wanted to do some video. Well, she was doing videos just on Facebook, and I said, why don't you put your projects out there on YouTube, because there's a lot of people who'd like to learn how to do that. And I learn most everything I know off of YouTube. I don't know about you guys, but you know, you can learn how to do anything off of YouTube now. So she said, well, I don't know anything about YouTube. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to set it up or anything. And I said, well, come up to my house and you and I will get together and we'll figure it out. I mean, it's been quite a few years since I've done mine, but I figured I could help her somehow. So I did. Helped her set it up, and she is working very hard getting videos out for you guys. So I'll put her link again below. If you don't mind, go over and subscribe to her. Like I said, she's new, so be patient with her. She will get to the point where she'll be able to do videos just lickety-split without even thinking. I told her, she said, I feel like I'm just stumbling around. I said, you'll feel that way for a while, and then all of a sudden it'll just come to you. It'll be a natural thing. So just go over there and give her some encouragement. And it's my niece Tracy, the one that comes up and helps me out, and the one that messages me every morning, tells me how much she loves me. All right, so what can we put on here? I want to cover that up, but I don't know if I want to put paper. What if we just do some vintage book pages? These are some vintage book pages that I got from Katie. Hello, Katie. And I have another freebie that I need to put up from her, too. Okay. It's going to be... Yeah, I think this will work. We'll just play around with it until it does. And I don't even mind if I cover all the way to the edge or not, because this envelope is brown. So what I'll do is just tear that little bit of white off there. And yes, I could definitely save that, but I have so many of these little pieces saved. I really don't need to save anymore. They're running me out of house. Okay, so I think we'll just put some right there. And I'm just going to tear it with my ruler. I don't want to worry too much about if it's perfectly straight or crooked or jagged. Doesn't matter. Just glue it down. And if, you know, if it looks funny, then we'll add something on top of it. Okay, we'll put that there. And then I'll just put another piece down here at the bottom. Now I'm going to do some inking on this because I want this to look a little bit more vintage. Even though this is a very old book. I think it's 1859. But this is that, it almost feels like material, that the paper. And it just doesn't brown like a lot of the books do. Oh, and if you guys want one of these blending tools, we do sell the Tim Holtz blenders. I don't sell these because they're made by a sweet friend of Betty's. And I hope she's a friend of mine, but she's definitely a friend of Betty's. And I will put their link below. And her husband makes these. They're a little bit easier to hold in your hand. The Tim Holtz are easy for me to hold in your hand, but if you have problems with your fingers, then these are a little bit bigger, so either one works just great. But I just wanted to show you guys that because she was sweet enough to send me that for free. So I wanted to make sure that I showed it and then left her link. I'm hoping that I left her link when she first sent it to me, but who knows. I have done forgot anything and everything that I have done in the past 2 months. Now I've got my mat down just so that I can not get that glue all over the place, maybe. We got in new product today. I don't know if Melina has it loaded up yet or not. I think she was loading it up. I do believe. She don't let me load it up anymore. I told her not to because the way my brain is working right now, I end up forgetting what I'm doing, and I get to the point where I don't even know what I've loaded in, what I hadn't loaded in. She's like, Mother, I'll just do it. I said, that would probably be a good thing. Don't leave it to me. And then I have some digitals that I need to show you guys. One that I have had for a while that I absolutely forgot about. It slipped my mind. It got kind of mixed up in some things. My grandbabies even pulled some of it out and made some origami out of it when they was here, when everybody was here after he passed. They was out here, you know, playing and keeping themselves occupied away from all the adults. And so Brooklyn and Presley actually pulled some of it out and did some origami with it, and I didn't realize that that's what they were using, but you know, and that's fine. I don't mind, and I know Susan wouldn't mind either. But Susan messaged me, bless her heart. She sent me another card, and she said, I hope you're enjoying that autumn butterfly. That was the first time that I had thought about it, Susan. I am so sorry. It just got buried under things, and I'm just now kind of digging my way back out. So I will definitely be showing that. And you did not have to give me my money back on that, Missy. I meant to buy that because it was my fault that it kind of got mixed up. So you did not have to do that. Okay, I didn't want her to have to mail it to me again. And some of the pages had already been cut up, my new grandbabies. So I went over and purchased it from her store. And then she sends me my money back. But you know, that's just how sweet you guys are. I mean, you're just amazing. I got a beautiful package, another beautiful package from Triple V Vintage yesterday. And those sweet ladies, I mean, they have give to me and give to me and give to me. I mean, they're so generous. And then there was another sweet present in that one. I mean, I just can't tell you how sweet all of you have been. Y'all are amazing. I know there's no other people out there anywhere that is as sweet as you guys are. Nobody has any better YouTube friends than I do. They can't have. There's no way. But I got to show you their digitals too. They're absolutely beautiful. And you know, they were the ones, and I never did get to show it in a video because at that time I just couldn't do videos. But they sent me, and when I say they, it's a mother and daughter. They sent me the beautiful basket that had all of the goodies in it. It had all kinds of fruits and nuts and cheese, and I'm still eating on that cheese. I love it. It's so good. And crackers and all kinds of things. And, you know, they sent me that. They have sent me funds. They've just been absolutely so sweet. Tell me how much they love me. That just, I tell you, how does it make you feel when somebody just says, I love and appreciate you? I mean, that just, does that not just make you feel wonderful? To know that there's somebody out there that's never even met you that can say that they love and appreciate you. I mean, I don't do anything to deserve anybody's love. I don't do anything to deserve appreciation. But it makes me feel so good that there are people out there like you guys that say that to me on a daily basis. I just appreciate you so much. And I know I'm just rattling on and on and on. And some of the new people may have no clue what's going on. I did have a comment from a lady, and she said, you keep mentioning when it happened. She said, what happened? And I realized that I don't talk about it in a lot of videos, and I don't want to talk about it in a lot of videos. So I will link the video that I do talk about it in. I will link that below. And if you are in question as to what I am referring to, if you have not saw my video, you can go over and take a look at that. It's just not easy for me to talk about it again. It's not easy for me to bring it up. And especially today, since I had kind of a rough day with other people bringing it up. And they didn't realize, they didn't know that they was doing anything that was going to upset me. They had no clue. I mean, they love Whit to death, and the first thing was, where's Whit? So, not anything wrong with that at all. Okay, now I'm just going right over that little window there. I don't want to waste my time cutting out around it right now. So I'm just going to go right over it. Then I'm going to come back and put some embellishments on this. Because, yes, it does look kind of plain right now, doesn't it? But we'll come back and embellish it. Now, I do have a little bit of that. Let's see. Do I have that the same width? It's 3 1/4. 3 1/4. Yeah. I think I tore my paper a little bit crooked there. I do have a little of that showing right there. But don't know if I'm going to worry about that or not. Or I may just fold it on down. Let's do that. It's not going to hurt to fold it on down. Well, I keep folding it and unfolding it. Folding it and unfolding it. So, I've had a lot of comments that have kind of dwindled off. I want y'all to leave me comments. I know that takes your time. And I know that may be asking a little bit much. But I just appreciate your comments so much. You do not know. When I sit down at night, a lot of times I'll read cards. And if I don't have any cards for the day, then I will read comments. And it just helps me. It helps me to know that I'm not the only one in this world that's going through what I'm going through. And I hate that anybody else is going through it. I really do. Not that I want somebody to go through it. I would never want anybody to go through this. Never. But it helps me to know that there are other people who have been struggling with this for a long time, and they've dealt with it. Okay. Now, I need something to cover this with, and I don't know that I'm going to cover it with book page. I think I might just cover it with that right there. Let's just do that. That'll be a good thing to cover it with. And I'm just going to tear this edge, jag it up to. And someone made a comment today that it was really good to hear me laugh. Well, believe it or not, it's good for myself to hear me laugh. I have a hard time lately laughing. I feel, and I know this is part of the whole process, and I've had people who tell me this is part of the process, but I almost feel guilty when I laugh. Is that not? That's weird, isn't it? But if you've been through it, then you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I just feel guilty. I feel like I shouldn't be happy. I shouldn't laugh. But then I think, well, he would want me to be happy. He would want me to laugh. He would not want me to sit around and mope all the time. He would be fussing at me if he even knew I was talking about this like this. Because he was a very happy person. He never met a stranger. And if you ever met him one time, then you knew him and he knew you. And he loved you to death if he ever met you one time. That's just the way he was. And yes, I'm putting my glue on this. And I probably should have put it on this. But we'll see if we can make it work. Let's not be putting my glue stick on very well today. I keep having little pieces that I'm having to glue down. Alright, so that's going to go on the inside. And then on the outside, I'll put something else. I think I'll put a piece of this old music page here. I love that greenish tint it has to it. Let me tear off a piece. Oh no, I went quiet on you. I was thinking about this, trying to figure out how I was going to tear it. Now, I tried doing stitching yesterday to show you guys. For some reason, and I don't know what happened, because when I practiced the stitching and filming, everything worked fine. But when I uploaded it, it slowed down in slow motion and just went crazy. So I don't know what happened. But I am going to film some stitching, and then just plain stitching, and then I'll just upload that in a separate video. That's the only way I know to do it right now, to where it will actually work. I don't know what the deal was with that. Something I probably pushed or did wrong, I guess. Okay, so that, well, at least I put my writing the right way, didn't I? Or the same way. Now we can go ahead and put a few little embellishments on here. So let's see what we want to do. You know what? I think I'll put it in and then I'll put my embellishments on it. Just like when I start embellishing the pages, I will just embellish it then. And I meant to put it right here, I think. So that will go there. So then we'll have this on this side, and it'll be a pocket. And then we'll have, if I can find it, this on this side, and we can either, you know, join something to it or just leave it like it is, or we could glue it to that page and let that be a little tuck pocket that way. So lots of different things we can do there. But I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take this cover, and I think I might even take the envelope. Let's do that too. Yeah, I think I can stitch around this with no problem. So I'm going to take this in the envelope, and I'm going to go stitch around it. And then I will put the stitching from this on a completely separate video that will upload after this one. So you'll be able to watch this, and then you can watch the video right after, and you can see the stitching. And then we'll probably just, let's see how much time. Yeah, we'll probably just come back tomorrow on the next video. I won't say tomorrow, just the next video. And I'll have everything stitched, and then we'll put these journals together. And I'll go ahead and finish this one up, stitch it, and then we'll come back and we'll put them together. How does that sound? Do some decorating on the front, put some ties on it so that it'll tie up, all that kind of stuff. Alright guys, I think that's all for the video today, other than don't forget to watch the video that uploads right after this one, and that will be the stitching part. But that's all I think I'm going to do today, other than I'm going to sit over at the sewing machine and do some stitching and just let my mind go for a while. And we will talk to you guys later. Again, don't forget to leave me comments. I appreciate all your comments and all your kind words, and just reading them just makes me feel like I'm right there with you. If you want to join us tomorrow night, join in. The link, I will try to link that below as well, but it will also show up on my YouTube channel, and then it's over on Betty's YouTube channel too. Join us, and I will just be sitting and probably answering a bunch of questions and just chatting with you guys while Betty does her thing. All right, we will talk to you later. Thanks so much. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Bye-bye.